to this lecture. Function arguments. As mentioned earlier, parameters are the information that need to be passed to the function for it to do its work. Arguments are thought of more as the actual values or reference assigned to the parameter variables when a function is called at runtime. Python supports several types of arguments, which are required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, a variable number of arguments. Required arguments. Required arguments are the types of arguments that have to be present when calling a function. These types of arguments also need to be in the correct order for the function to work as expected. Consider the following function with required arguments. Define a function division of parameters first and second. Return first divided by second. Quotient division to call function division and pass parameters 10 and 2. Print quotient is quotient. To see the result, run this cell. Quotient is 5.0. It's mean 10 is divided by 2 because 10 is the value of first parameter and 2 is the value of second parameter. Now we will move on the keyword arguments. If it is necessary that you call all of the parameters in the right order, you can use keyword arguments in your function call. You can use these to identify the arguments by their parameter names. Keyword arguments. If it is necessary that you call all of the parameters in the right order, you can use keyword arguments in your function call. You can use these to identify the arguments by their parameter names. Let's consider the previous example to make this a bit clearer. Define a function division and have a parameter first and second and return the value of first parameter divided by the value of second parameter. Quotient. Call our function division and pass value second is equal to 10 and first is equal to 10. The quotient is. Please note this. Keyword arguments are very powerful and they ensure that no matter which order we pass arguments in, the function will always know which arguments goes where. See the result of this function. Run this cell. The quotient is 5. There is no matter in which parameter is enter first and which parameter is enter second. Next, default arguments. Default arguments are those that take a default value if no argument value is passed during the function call. You can assign this default value with the assignment operator just like in the following example. Define a function division and which has parameters first and second. Second is a default parameter because it has a default value 2. Return first divided by second. Quotient division 10. You are seeing that only one value is passed, which is the value of first parameter. And print the quotient is quotient. We also override default value. See below quotient division and we have passed two values 10 and 5. 10 divided by 5. To see the result, run this cell. The quotient is 5.0 and quotient is 2.0. Variable number of arguments. It might so happen that you want to allow a function to receive any number of variables and then pass them. Would not it be convenient if you could pass a variable number of arguments to this function? Well, you are in luck. This is possible in Python by using this special static syntax. The following is an example of using static arguments. Define a function addition and pass a number of arguments with static arg. Total is equal to variable. Take a variable total and assign a value 0. For I in arguments, iterate through the number of arguments. Total is equal to a plus operator I. Return total, calling function addition with variable number of arguments. Answer, take a variable answer, call our function addition and give the values 10, 20, 30, 40. Print answer and answer answer means the print the value of answer stored in this. To see the result, run the cell. Answer is 100.